Swamiji wrote this festival to express, to summarize in a few words some of the deepest teachings of yoga, and to combine that with simple rituals. And we'll perform this festival on the morning of Diwali. However, it's wonderful to look carefully and to remind ourselves of some of these eternal truths. Swamiji says here, the essence of this ceremony has been passed down from ancient times. Higher teachings we know come from higher ages. I like reading the popular author Devdutt Patnaik, and he just brings mythology to life and legends within legends and many layers of meaning, and we begin to appreciate and enjoy this wonderful culture, spiritual culture that we have. And many, but not all, of those myths and legends come from higher ages, and many have deep symbolic meaning, spiritual meaning. And others, beliefs and rituals, are more superstitious and have crept in over time, and yet the truth remains. You know, it's a little like a ship. The hull of a steel ship over years will get rusty, or it'll get colonies of barnacles, but underneath is the same ship. And so it is with spiritual truth. It can't be hidden. Christmas celebrates the descent of an avatar onto earth. And yet over the centuries it's absorbed many other pagan rituals like Christmas trees and glittering shopping malls. And yet the truth is there, the essence is there. Likewise, Diwali has many worldly aspects to it, and yet we keep coming back to that one essence of light descending on earth and how we can align ourselves spiritually with that light. And as pilgrims, we might travel to meditate in spiritual destinations. We can also be pilgrims through time, and there's certain times of the year that are especially powerful spiritually. And at Diwali, when so many people are thinking lovingly of others or giving to others, just those sentiments are enough to draw God's light into the world. And it's a very auspicious time for us to take advantage of that. Also inwardly, it's a very auspicious time for spiritual practice, because the light is so close, it's so tangible. And when we consciously direct our love at those times towards God, we can attain His light so much more easily. Swamiji continues, he says, "O waves that we are on the bosom of the infinite sea." And those few words sum up so much of spiritual teachings, that if we meditate on being a wave in the vast ocean of God's infinite spirit, we're just a small particle, but we're part of God's consciousness, never separate from it. And through this we can realize that infinite consciousness. Just like a wave is part of the ocean, and it's our choice We can choose to merge ourselves in God's ocean, or we can push our wave upwards and identify more with the ego and separation from the infinite. Swamiji says, joyfully together, let us celebrate our own greater reality. And so he's saying, let's identify with that ocean, with that greater reality. And he says, let's do it joyfully. Let's celebrate. Let's do it together. When we come together, like for a group meditation, we can participate not only for ourselves, but for everyone in the group. And if we allow our mind to wander or get sleepy or have negative thoughts, we, in a subtle way, pull down the energy of the whole group. And yet, if we take advantage of the situation to dedicate ourselves with more concentration and put our full attention and energy into that meditation, feel like we're meditating to lift up the energy of the whole group, then we have a much larger purpose. And Swamiji said that when he would meditate in a group, he would try to meditate for everyone there. He would feel himself in everybody's body at the same time. Swamiji says, into our hands have been delivered the sacred keys of awakening. And we can't get much more direct than that. We have the keys. We have devotion, we have Kriya Yoga, and the question is, what will we do with those keys? Swamiji says, abundant now is our hope. And when there's great hope, that inspires also action and the motivation to act. Those keys don't do us any good unless we actually use them. And we're also comforted. Sri Krishna assures us, even the worst of sinners by steadfast meditation on me speedily comes to me. It doesn't matter how bad we are. This includes everybody. It does say we do need to meditate steadfastly. However, what if we're not always so steadfast in our meditation? Even here, Sri Krishna promises, even a little practice of this inward religion will free one from dire fears and colossal sufferings. What a purpose. Yoganandaji wrote once, this world is all a motion picture projection of God's mind. Someday, when He will show us His light, transforming itself into this terrible cosmic motion picture of life and death, you will laugh at the unreality of His light and shadow creation. You will know then that He has created everything out of His light, and that only the light is real. We must firmly shake ourselves out of this dream delusion to realize that we are rays of that immortal light. And so this Diwali, let's take some time each day to shake ourselves out of that dream delusion and to unite ourselves with that infinite light that's ever more present in these days, and be channels for that light today and always. And we're children of God's infinite light. Thank you.
we are talking today about Swamiji's Festival of Light. And so Keshava sort of has gone over what Swamiji says near the beginning of the Festival of Light. And as he gets into it, it's this beautiful ceremony. It has a story, it has poetry, it has music, and it's an incredible reminder. They do it every single Sunday in America and Europe, all over the world actually, except in India. So we do a little teeny portion of it, and that's the touch of light at the end, which is the blessing at the end of every satsang. But perhaps now we'll incorporate it more in our satsangs, once a month or more often. One of the wonderful allegories that he uses in the festival are the stages of the soul's long journey through time and space when it moves away from its home in God. And he uses a little bird as an allegory for the soul, and how the little bird's parents say to it when it leaves the nest, when it leaves its home, it says, go out and be fruitful and multiply. Or let's say the Lord says that to us, and the little bird's parents say, gain strength and wisdom, and what you acquire, share with all, because you are a part of all that is. So that's the little bird's mission. That's the soul's mission. But when the soul gets too far away from God, it starts to feel very separate and feels like, and says to itself, it becomes a rebel. And in its rebellious stage, which is the second stage, it says, what else is wisdom but to keep what is mine for myself? And so the little bird goes for eons and eons of our time. So the soul is just wandering in delusion for so many lifetimes. And then at some point, the little bird finds itself in the dark skies and strong winds buffeting it, and it's feeling a little lost. And the night sky says, fear not, for peace awaits you in the unknown. And it says, surrender to me, and your strength will be renewed. And the little bird surrenders to the night skies and finds the counsel true. So how many times have we been trying to do everything our own way, trying to just take care of our little us four and no more, my life, let me take care of me, and yet we find ourselves lost, struggling. And we just have to surrender and realize surrendering is actually what gives us peace. And so the little bird starts to get feedback from the universe around it, and the feedback says, behold, your strength to fly has never been your own. Look for the source of all power. And the bird says, where do I look? And the universe basically says to him, look for it within your own self. And then begins the third stage of the soul's journey, and it's called the quest. And the quest is when we start asking ourselves, what is this life about? Who am I in reality? And we also, probably if we're sitting in this room, we've all gone through that stage. What is the purpose of my life? We are becoming disciples. We are becoming open. We're becoming humble. We do not have all the answers. And so, what happens when the disciple is ready? The Guru appears. The answers come through the great ones who descend. It says, then a prayer of love went up from earth, and you responded. A ray of your light flashed out from the heart of infinity, born on earth. Many times has that light descended, drawn to earth by the call of aspiring love. So our hearts perhaps were calling to God, send us someone, some great master, some great teacher that can answer my questions, but that yearning of the heart brought down, for each of us, brought down the avatars. They brought down, over the ages, they brought down Rama, they brought down Krishna, they brought down Babaji, they brought down Yoganandaji, they brought our line of masters. But it's the call of our aspiring hearts, Our hearts that love, that want more love, that draws down the masters. So we take part in drawing this down. And what love God has for us, that we can call from our hearts, from our souls, even if our intellect isn't calling, that our hearts are calling, and He responds. And how long God waits for us. Because how long have we turned away from Him? How long did we close our eyes? How long did we fear what that would mean? If I really love God and God really loves me, what does that mean for my life? We've stayed away from that. We've pulled back from that. Wow, that means I'd have to change a lot of things. And we just don't even want to go there. But after a very long time, we say enough of this suffering. No matter what it is, I surrender to you. Come into my life. And so when we choose God, He chooses us. He's been waiting a long time for us to choose Him. And you know, the Jews have often called themselves the chosen race. It's because they have, they think that they themselves have chosen God, therefore God has chosen them. But the chosen ones are anyone who chooses God. When we choose God, God chooses us. When we're at that stage, we enter the fourth stage of the soul's long journey. It's called the redemption. Lord, we offer up the little light that is in us into thy blazing light of infinity. Grant us the grace to know you and make us ever increasingly pure channels of thy love to all. So how do we offer ourselves up? Intellectually we would think, let's see, how do I offer myself up? But the heart knows. The heart can offer itself into that which it loves. So the heart offers itself up. We offer the little light that's in us when we do Kriya, when we do meditation. We offer ourselves up to the spiritual eye. We offer our little consciousness into infinite consciousness. And even if we're not doing Kriya Yoga, but we've just practiced meditation. In meditation, we have an experience that there's a reality greater than the one that we know. Greater than our little ego and our personality and our little lives that we're leading. What is this greater reality? I offer my little awareness into your infinite awareness and reality. That's how we offer ourselves up. And then, how can we become pure channels? Give me the grace to know you and make me ever increasingly a pure channel of your love for all. Help me to know you. What does know you mean? We become friends. We become one with God. Grant me the grace to know who you are and become your channel. So we just have to offer ourselves up. Let me be your channel. I offer my light. Let me be your channel. In a situation where somebody hurts us, what do I do? Offer my light. Let me be your channel. We become insecure. Something happens to us. We're scared and afraid. I offer up my light. Let me be your channel. And every situation in life can become a divine experience if we just continue to offer ourselves up, our little light up, and say, let me be a channel. So as I said, in other Ananda centers around the world, they do this festival of light, and at the end, the devotees come up for a touch of light. And they come up for a touch of light at the masters. And what it says is, the Acharya says, we invite those of you who feel to come up to the altar and receive a touch of light from the masters. Pray for the grace to share with all as you have received, for you are a part of all that is. When we left God eons ago, God said, share with all, for you are a part of all that is. We left Him, we went out, we come back, calling to God, and we sing, pray for the grace to receive, so that you can share with all. So that is the path. The path is to offer our light up to the infinite light. And when we offer ourselves up in that light, we merge with that light. We receive that light. And once we receive that light, it is our destiny, just like the Gurus, just like Rama, just like Divine Mother, to be one with them, receive that light, and be channels of that light to all. And that's our destiny.